Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper. So, with that, I will say this. I do believe that I speak for everyone that is holding Casper when I say, let's break the range. What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to get to that here in a second. We're going to address it. Trading volume up 86%, while the price basically flat. Not much has changed. I mean, we are up about 10%, but ultimately speaking, like, let's be real. We want to get out of this range at around 5.5 cents. We want to have 5.5 cents break because guess what ends up happening after that? Well, we go on a major run. We're going to address it. We're going to talk about it. First off, though, I do want to talk about the overall amount of holders. Now, Casper stats is not live right now. They are still down. But we know the last time that we talked about Casper, we were sitting at around 105,000 holders. This is on 154,000, almost 155,000 watch list on CoinMarketCap. I believe that when Casper starts to break out, which it has been brewing, we are going to talk about it. I believe that a lot of focus is going to be on Casper. I'm very, very excited for this. But I'm also very excited for what we recently seen get announced. So let's talk about one thing, right? Casper.live. This is where a lot of individuals that I know personally are staking their Casper. You could choose a validator of your choice. There's a ton of them, by the way. I personally am staking my Casper over on Casper.live. This is also where I hold my Casper. I do have quite a bit locked over on Uphold. I know I can't withdraw. I just did not feel like selling it into another asset and just sending it over. But hey, it is what it is. Like Uphold, unlock our Casper, right? But when we look here at Casper.live, you could earn 10.5% APY on your Casper holdings, completely defeating inflation, which is 8% year over year. And the total stake bond is sitting at 76.11% of the total supply. When this thing breaks, man, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be one of the biggest opportunities that we have in this market. This has not experienced a bull run at all. 76% of the supply locked away, still so much more left to, happen on the network. I mean, it's getting very, very exciting. Now, price action. I haven't been focused too much on price action just because I've been technically utilizing this time to accumulate a ton of Casper. Now, when we look at this, right, I said waiting patiently for the Casper volcano to erupt. So far, we have seen HBAR, XRP, XDC, and a few others have a nice strong break. I'm watching 5.5 cents closely for the next couple days/weeks. Patience will pay off greatly. Again, a lot of the altcoins that we have been holding and talking about on this channel have started to break out in a major way. We recently seen NXRA, which is Alliance Block. Yes, a lot of issues have happened with it, but ultimately it went on a nice run. We seen XRP go on a major run, Chromatica have a nice run up, HBAR have a nice run up, XDC. I mean, there's so many coins. Even LCX, right? LCX was one of the early ones in January that started to pump massively. Like, there has been so many major moves in the market, and Casper has, well, been trading in this range. This is the range I'm talking about. So we have been hitting this 5.5 cent zone almost, just ranging here between that zone. And also, we have been trading at around like the 2 cent zone. Yes, this could technically be moved up. We could be looking at, something like this where it's like 2.5 cents to 5.5 cents. Anywhere within this range, it does not matter. All we are looking at is this, right? Sideways price action. Now, we all know what ends up happening. We end up getting we end up getting something like this where we're trading between resistance and support, and a big move happens. Now, usually when we are looking at price action where it's just ranging like this, and we know, guess what, Bitcoin is exhausting. Well, we end up having something like this where it's a breakdown. So we would have something like this. But considering the fact that we are in this point in the market where most of the selling has been exhausted, is the bottom in? Most people will say yes, it is what it is, right? We don't know. But this is the year where a lot of individuals are waiting for the wave 5, or maybe we're, building up for a big breakout on Bitcoin. All we know is that I've been utilizing this time to buy this trend on Casper. I've been accumulating this trend on Casper. Now, hey, we could come back down. We could retest 3 cents. We don't know, right? It does not really matter. In the long term, you're not going to sit here and debate with yourself saying, well, I should have bought at 2 cents. And then you're going to be like, well, why didn't I buy more at 3.5 cents? Or are you going to be like, well, I could have bought at 3 cents, but I bought at 3.5 cents? It's not going to matter in the long term, because obviously when things start to move pretty quickly, then price action really kind of precedes any sort of thought process that you have. But in this market right now, most altcoins are starting to have the breakout of the range. This range has been going on for Casper for a while. Since we actually ended up breaking down, finding the bottom, we have been trading sideways for over 287 days. So when this does break out, obviously I'm expecting a lot of price momentum. And when we do, there's a lot of areas of opportunity. So first off, we need to clear 5.5 cents. And 5.5 cents from our current price right now, and I'm going off of the high wick, this is about a 50% run up from our level now. If you bought back in the summer lows, we'll say even support, 117% run up. Now, where am I looking at? Well, it's mainly, we're just looking at the areas of resistance. Next level here is 10 cents. And from there, there is a little bit of a resistance point at 14.5 cents, then the recent high. And then after that, we just really kind of look at where most of the resistance was. And after we clear 28 cents, 60 cents is the next level, but after that, we look at the daily candle wicks, and which we do have back here. So if we actually look at the daily real quick, let me scroll all the way back. So, after, like I said, that 60-cent zone on the weekly, we were looking at the weekly. Yes, candle wicks are a little bit different here on the lower time frames. Well, guess what? Then we look at like $1.33. So let's go back to the weekly real quick, just so we have a little bit more of a simple viewpoint on this. So what I've been mainly looking at is the next levels of opportunity. And if we're talking about a break of 5.5 cents, I do believe that 10 cents does happen pretty quickly. This would be about 168% of a run up, almost 170% run up from today's price, mind you. And after that, like I said, 14.5 cents, almost 300% run up. Then we go back to the recent high back in November of 2021. It's about a 429% run up. Then we target, 28 cents almost, a 653% run up, a 6.5x opportunity run, if you will. And then after that, 60 cents, which is almost a 15x. Mind you, a 15x is 60 cents. Now, is this all going to happen all at once? Absolutely not, right? We're going to have, when this does break out, we're going to have points in the time where, we do have that breakout, we hit resistance, we trail back, we kind of build the floor. This takes time. It's not just going to go up in a straight line. But, like I said, Casper is one that I've been accumulating for so long. It's my number one holding still, and for good measure. It has not experienced a bull run. 70% of this, the full supply is locked away. Everyone has been fudding on it because of the 8% year over year, which, like I said, in a decade, it will still have less supply than most top 25 tokens. And it's one that is having a ton of development happening on the network. But also, what we recently seen from Wrecked Wojak, listen closely to what we hear in this interview. Now, yes, I'm sure that this has been talked about quite a bit already, but I want to give you guys my insight on this. Listen closely to this little segment here.
Okay, and now topic connection to the other crypto communities.
Yes.
So we have a nice relation with the XRP community, right? Kevin Cage and Cash.
And also, I do appreciate the shout out there with Kevin Cage and also myself. Very, very appreciative of that.
That's two of the greatest supporters of the Casper ecosystem. But you have a nice story to tell.
Yes. So I met also XRP or Ripple representative in Paris blockchain. They had also a very nice booth over there. We had like at least half an hour conversation about how Ripple is working, how Casper is utilizing their strong points, and what could be the synergy here. So the outcome of this is that We would like to connect our business development teams and find the best possible use case for both systems to coexist together. We have our own strength, and I think it would be a waste to not to utilize this in a synergy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the community is connected. We have a great support from the XRP community, so it would be great to see Ripple x Casper Labs cooperation in
Let's
future.
see.
Yeah,
It's already happening on Twitter.
Yeah,
Among
yeah,
our
yeah.
user base. Let's put it on another level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the big question is, will Ripple and Casper basically work together? Hey, this would be a match made in heaven, in my opinion. I think that this could very well be a possibility. And it also got a lot of individuals over on Twitter hyped up. They started talking about it, and that's when we started to see a little bit of an increase in the price. Not like nothing crazy or anything like that, but still, we started to see a lot more focus on it. I think that this would be huge. I think that they both can definitely benefit from each other. I think that with what Casper has built, the team at Casper has built, it definitely is something revolutionary. And we also do see over here, so I quoted Kevin Cage because this is when a lot of individuals started talking about XRP and Casper together. I said, why I was stacking XRP and Casper all summer long into December. Took a break on XRP as we started to break and focused more on Casper. My bags continue to get packed. Like I said, it's my number one holding. And we do see Kevin Cage basically talking about both of them here. Yes, obviously, XRP being a major player within this market. There's so much happening around the XRP ecosystem. Very, very excited to see the future on what XRP does, what they accomplish utilizing XRP from Ripple as well, and then Casper, right? We do see, I'm also a huge believer that Casper will be a household name as an enterprise layer one for many of the Fortune 2000 companies out there. We've talked about this even with Hedera, right? I do believe that Hedera will be a blue chip household name. I think a lot of people will know some of these names just simply because of enterprises utilizing them. And we do see another multi-trillion-dollar use case. Casper is extremely interesting and unique too. Upgradable to help enterprises stay compliant, hybrid, flexible, predictable sharding. Has the tech live today that Ethereum hopes to have in 5 years for Ethereum 3.0, which was a big selling point to me. Like, I always look at the tech stack, right? A lot of people actually don't care about the tech stack. They look at what's happening on the network. But the thing is that the secret sauce around any of these networks is the tech stack, what it can allow these enterprises to achieve, what use cases that can't be built out on, we'll say Ethereum for an example. What use cases can't be built out on Ethereum right now that can be built out on Casper right now, right? That's the big game changer. And with upgradable smart contracts and the tech stack that is already live today that Ethereum hopes to have in 5 years for Ethereum 3.0, like, that's huge. No matter how you look at it, that is huge. And what do you see? Partnered with multiple governments and billion-dollar funds, tokenizing financial contracts, Nucleus Finance, Actus, which we just recently talked about with tokenizing mortgages. Huge, huge game changer of a partnership. Tokenizing patents and more. Cheers to the future. I'll be here for a long term. Excited to see the synergy between these two projects. And that's what I'm saying. Like, short term, like, this price action is lovely. Trust me. Like, when we look at this, right? When this runs up, we'll say when it hits, we'll say like a 2x, right? So we'll say even at this point in time where it hits like 11 cents or so, you take your initial investment out, you let it ride, because it's basically risk free at that point. You have your initial out, you're not really tied to it. You could build another portfolio piece with another asset with that initial investment, and then after that, if this thing rides, like I've talked about it so many times on this channel. Like, we look at some of these higher price targets, we look at like $10, right? Like, a lot of people love the $10 price target. I'm not looking at $10 in the short term. Obviously, we're looking at like, $1 to $2, maybe even $3. But long term, when we look at what's happening on some of these networks, when we look at the tech stack, that is what will provide the fuel that increases the value for these assets. The staked, right? The amount of staked Casper, everything combined with, network adoption, network use, everything like that goes hand in hand. I've talked about this even with Hedera, right? A lot of people are looking at Hedera and they're like, well, it's going to have 50 billion tokens. Yes, it's quite a bit of tokens. But when you look at enterprise grade applications and things like that, That's really not that much, right? I've said it. I've said it. There's going to be this combination of retail and enterprise utilizing these networks. Like the tokens are needed for that. But long term, when you look at the growth of some of these networks, what you need to focus on is the tech stack, the team, the individuals behind these teams. That's what matters because long term, yeah, sure, we might be looking at, in the short term, $1 to $3. And don't get me wrong, like, listen, if this thing does outreach, if this thing does outreach to about $3, right? That's well over almost a 100x from the summer lows, but from our price today, that's an 80x opportunity run. That's big if, by the way, we go to $3. And I'm talking about short term. Long term, yes, I do believe that $3 will be targeted if the team continues with their goal and their ambitions. But long term, like I said, I do believe, like I said, if the team does continue to, keep up with everything, $10+ could definitely be a possibility. It could be a 270x run up. I've said it. These assets are changing the way enterprises, businesses, companies, financial products, everything. It's changing the way the world works. And that's a game changer. It's once in a lifetime opportunities within this market. Even like you can look at this however you want. But when you look at the technological advancement that's happening around blockchain and DLT, etc., yes, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.